Okay, class, we're going to look at your new Google Classroom assignment. So once you've logged into Google Classroom, find the one that says Activity 1.2, Part 3 and 4. You are going to need to open up both links. So you're going to need to sign in to your project Lead the Way. And you are also going to need to open the isometric drawing tool. Once signed into Project Lead the Way, you click on Courses. And then you click on Design and Modeling. In your directions, it says to go to Activity 1.2. So that's where we're going to go. This is Lesson 1. Activity 1.2, a picture's worth 1,000 words. And we're going to scroll down. This part we've already talked about. We watched the video on types of sketches. You have already done number 1, which was the thumbnail sketch. You have already done number 3, which is the isometric sketch. So we are at multi-view sketches. Multi-view sketches are when you are showing the top, front, and right side views, and they can also include an isometric drawing. So on this one, it says in the following steps, you will create a multi-view sketch of the object shown on the left in Figure 6. So this is Figure 6. You can always tell what picture they're talking about because they're all labeled. If necessary, use 5 linking cubes to create the object as shown to the right in the figure. So this is the linking cubes. We are actually going to use that website, the isometric drawing website. And there's also a video showing that. So here's the video of the object. There's the top view, the front view, and the right side view. And the isometric. So starting at step 5, use isometric graph paper to create an isometric object. This is my isometric graph paper. And it's already cut to size. You can see number 6 says cut out the isometric sketch. We've already cut it to size, and we'll be gluing it down right there once we've done our sketch. So I am going to look at this picture. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cubes. So I go to my isometric drawing tool, and I need to build that item. So there you can see the isometric drawing. And this is isometric paper. It's called isometric dot paper. And each one of those dots is an intersection point. So looking at this, I can put that right there goes on a point, and that goes to a point. Each one of these things is at a intersection. So I will create that drawing on my isometric graph paper. Then I will paste it into my notebook here. Now I've told you about the notebooks before. Please remember that you should literally draw in your lines to show your 4 different pictures. So the isometric goes here. Right here is the top, front, and side views. So once I have completed my isometric and pasted it in, I can go to Inspect, 2D, and look at the front, the right, and the top views. I do need to make sure that I put them in the right places, and I need to make sure that I have lined them up as we have talked about in the past. Once I've finished that, I can go back to my direction page. That is completing 5, 6, and 7. It tells you to use this as your example, but you are drawing a figure of this. Once I finish with that, going on to number 8, on Cartesian square graph paper, in my Project Lead the Way notebook. So that's this kind of graph paper again. This is Cartesian square. This is isometric. On the Cartesian square graph paper, practice drawing multi-view sketches of the following objects presented as isometric sketches. You may want to build the objects with linking cubes. Again, we're not using the linking cubes, we're using the isometric drawing tool. So you are going to do a top, front, and side view of each one of these. You can see that the isometric drawing is already done. You do not need to do the isometric drawing, but you do need to do these. So for A, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cubes that need to go together. So I'm going to go back to my isometric drawing tool and erase the ones that I've already got. To make it easier, I can shrink my screen, adjust the size as I need it, and I can pull this one off to the side. I'm going to get rid of the navigation bar and shrink it. So this is what I need to draw. So, oops, let's do a dark color. There we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So there is my isometric, and I can go to Inspect 2D to see the front, top. If I make my screen big, I'll see the front, right, and top side views. You do not need to worry about the map view. So there are my 3 views. I need to put them in order and line them up. The top one goes here, so that view goes right here. The front view goes here, and the right side view goes here, all lined up. Once I've completed that one, I can go back to my Project Lead the Way, and I know I need to do figure B, C, and D. After that, we need to do the mystery object, the isometric drawing for this mystery object. So using the multi-view sketch in figure 8, there's figure 8, build the 3-dimensional object with linking cubes. Again, we're not using the linking cubes, we're using the isometric drawing tool online. Think about each view and how the 3-dimensional object would look given each side's projection. So you have to figure out what it's going to be there. And if you look back at your Google Classroom, please make sure you've got 6 different ones to do. The isometric, whoops, you've got the multi-view of this, that's drawing number 1. You've got the 3 views from these 4 that you need. So this is 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then you have the 6th one is the isometric from this, and you will need isometric paper. You can use a larger sheet of paper if you want, or you can use a small one. So in your notebook, I should see all 6 of these pages. You only have to label them in here one time. So on here, I'm going to put activity 1.2, and I'm going to write my page numbers. So all 6 of these page numbers will be in here, and then you write today's date, and this is where I give you the grade for that. Good luck on your project.